Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the Rockstar Report, Carolina Panthers blueprint. We are going to dive into that tonight. We're also going to talk about some trade packages. I mean, Josh is right. He's already in the chat. So feel free to blow up that chat tonight. Love to hear y'all guys' thoughts. Happy Thursday to everyone. I think I need to fix my mic. Yep, I sure do. So happy Thursday to everyone. I'm sure you can hear me better now. Like I said, make sure you jump in the chat, share your thoughts, debate with your fellow Panthers fans, or debate with me. But love to hear your guys' thoughts as we go throughout tonight. Make sure to become a member of the channel tonight. That is right there. Join the Rockstar Gang. Takes you right to it in the chat. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss an update on the Carolina Panthers, which is your favorite team. But Josh, man, is correct. Welcome in, Josh. Appreciate you joining, brother. Yeah, we're 8 days away, man. It's it's like I said, and I said it on Tuesday night, man. Said it on the NFC South Roundtable. I said it on the on my channel. I'm almost ready to the point where it's just ready. I'm ready for it to be all over with. Just because it's like number one, Twitter right now, man, you can't say nothing on Twitter without like people coming after you with fire torches and pitchforks, man. It's crazy. Like if you say one bad thing about Jalen Walker, you say one bad thing about T-Mac, or it's off with his head. You know what I mean? But it's funny. It's almost at the point where it's just comical now. But there's definitely some things I want to discuss tonight, man. And it's just how the Carolina Panthers can avoid really screwing themselves over, right? We're going to go pick by pick tonight as well on that. So we're definitely going to do like a little mock draft. And I feel like it's going to be a realistic one, at least as close as I can get it to be. But we're really going to be diving into each and every pick and really kind of dissecting what they could do at this 8th pick or what they could do at the 57th pick and all the way up to the 7th round. All right. We're going to dive into that today because we have 9 picks in this draft, right? So that gives us 9 opportunities from being the league's like punchline and start, like I said in the description of this live stream, it gives us the chance to stop being the league's punchline and we can start building a competitive football team, right? Instead of a glorified charity for struggling defensive lines. And here's the thing. This isn't just a draft for us. This is a crossroads, right? Bryce Young, he's got all the protection. He's fine. I think the protection's there. Offensive line, I'm not worried about. We don't have to worry about a quarterback, right? Do I think we should get the only thing on the offensive line I think we need to get maybe is a right tackle or a right guard to be that successor for when Taylor Moton decides to hang up them cleats, right? Or unless we move on from him. I don't know. Okay. But, Bryce Young does need some weapons. I do believe that getting him another wide receiver, getting him maybe another running back definitely doesn't hurt. A tight end, right? Maybe one of each. Maybe they trade back and then you're able to get 2 wide receivers and a running back and a tight end, and you're right, your successor for Taylor Moton, right? Defense is key though. Like defense in my book is number 1. Okay. The defense that doesn't collapse the second it steps on the field. That is also what we need. We need a defense that doesn't step on the field and that's it. Like Dave Canales is as our head coach has been really, when he came here, was asked to clean up someone else's mess, as in Frank Wright. So Dan Morgan and him are trying to fix a roster that's been mismanaged for years with duct tape and desperation. And that's literally how it feels. Okay. So we're going to break down pick by pick. I'm going to be detailed. I'm going to add context, needs, I'm going to be realistic. Targets, no fluff, no lies. Just what this front office needs to do to avoid pissing away another year of Young's development. All right. And pissing away another year of being in the history books of the worst defense in the league. All right. So I'm going to pull up my handy dandy PFF notebook here. We'll use PFF tonight. And we'll go slow. All right, now I'll share my screen. Boom. Nah, I think that's good. All right, let's start the draft. Let's see how the draft breaks down. Okay, this is just wild. This is just wild. There's no way that that's happening, but okay. Yeah, so definitely going to start this over. PFF, you just done fucked up my whole video. Let's try this again. Okay, it's still 7, slow. Let's try again. Jesus. Travis Hunter still. There's no way that's happening. I mean, unless Tennessee is waiting out for next season, or they're going to pick somebody else later on down the road. Maybe they go after Jackson Dart in the second round. Who knows? Okay. So this is where it gets interesting, right? Obviously, they've got high hopes for Walter Nolan. Jahad Campbell's moving up boards. Again, we're at that stage, man, where like I hate to say it. Like I keep repeating myself. I know I do. I sound like a broken record, but it's like we're at the point where the people that everybody wanted are now overrated, and all the sleeper are like, and all the sleepers now are underrated. I feel like that. That was like the post I posted the other day. Like we're officially have reached that stage where sleepers are getting overhyped, and then the top prospects are starting to feel underrated. So it's kind of funny. But now I also can see it being the other way around. So, so I can see it being the other way around. What's up, Marcos? Appreciate you joining, man. So all right, we're here at 8, right? I think everybody can see who we have on the board, right? Everybody can see who we got. What I might do is do this. I might make this bigger, and then I might just share the entire screen. Let me do this instead. I'm going to share the entire screen. Like the entire, yeah, there we go. Entire screen. That's what I want. There we go. Okay. So now I'm sure you can see that a lot better. I feel like you can. Let me see on your stream end. A little bit. Let's see. We're checking it out on the stream. You can see it okay. You can see it okay. All right. All right. So we're at 8. Okay. So where we go here? It's either you trade back. So the 3 options here for me, it's either, and I'm not going to say players. I mean, I'll get into the players here shortly, but it is between edge and wide receiver for me, unless they decide to trade back. Okay. Now we could trade back. It is go big or go home. And I think let me be clear with this 8th pick. When we're talking about the 8th pick here, this pick is a cornerstone pick. I will say that. Carolina doesn't pick in the top 10 because things are going well. Your team does not pick in the top 10 unless if things are going well. This doesn't happen. So the pick here, because the roster, we're picking here because the roster, especially defensively, is still shaky. And I think the fan base, we know our fan base is split. It's either you take a pass rusher right here, right? Or you get Bryce Young, a true number one wide receiver. The answer is which one is elite and still on the board? I think I even think that if you got Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham here, or somehow the Penn State Abdul Carter falls, which is most likely not likely, but not impossible. I don't even know if you overthink it, because do you go Abdul Carter over Jalen Walker? I mean, fan favorite right now is Jalen Walker, because I don't think anybody thinks Abdul Carter is going to fall. I can see Mason Graham falling more than I can Abdul Carter. But what if Abdul Carter does fall? Right? What if Abdul Carter does fall? What do you do then? With all three options at this point, right? Jalen Walker will not fall past the 49ers. True. What's up? In my opinion, I trade back because there's no true top game changer here at 8. If anything, trade up for Carter. I'd rather not trade up. Me personally, I don't. But let's say, and let's just say in a hot, like, this is not a hot take, but let's say in this scenario, ladies and gentlemen, and you guys can chime in on this. Seriously, I love when you guys comment. So please bring the comments coming. Okay. I don't care if they're stupid or not. I can see Mason Graham falling. Now, do I take Mason Graham over Jalen Walker? I think that's another thing, because do we believe that Bobby Brown can plug that nose position? Right? I mean, he's coming off his career best year, but like, does it hurt because really Mason Graham does make a lot of sense too. You don't have anybody else besides Bobby Brown III, unless you want to rock with Shy Tuttle. If Bobby Brown goes down, now I know it's going to be a rotational thing. You know what I mean? Like, do we rock with Bobby Brown and Shy Tuttle in that mid section? Just those two guys. I don't see how. Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that we can't get a defense tackle on the back end. Okay, I'm not. But from a depth chart standpoint, you're looking at Bobby Brown III and Shy Tuttle as your nose tackles in that 3-4 defense. I actually saw a video today where we traded up for Carter. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that, Josh. I hope that's not the case, because I don't want to trade up. I'd rather take the chance of Carter falling. That's just me personally. I honestly think that wholeheartedly, if Dan Morgan's going to pick someone at 8, you can make a case for these two things. Edge rusher, why would we go with edge rusher? Because Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Wanum are stopgaps. Both are short-term deals. Neither is a long-term answer. Correct? Can we all agree to that? And this team is ranked bottom 10 in pressure rate last year. So you don't win in the NFL without putting pressure on the quarterback. But you also don't win when you allow average of 180 yards per game in rushing. Letting opposing teams run all over you. Just allowing 180 yards per game is ridiculous. So, but then you got the other side of the fan base saying, well, why not wide receiver? Because you need Bryce Young needs a leading receiver, and you can't continue to rely on 34-year-old Adam Thielen in 2025. If they whiff on an edge early, then T-Mac or Luther Burden or Mecca Ibuka or Matthew Golden type wide receivers are the play. This team desperately needs a yak threat or a deep ball dominator. Someone who can stretch the field and force the safeties to play honest. I mean, I think the ideal targets here at 8, it's Jalen Walker, it's T Mac, or it's Mason Graham. And if none of them are there, or they just don't feel that this is the right move, or someone comes calling and says, "Hey, we're going to give you our first round pick." I mean, it's just like if we go over here with these trade packages, like that's what we're going to talk about. We've seen I don't know if you've seen these on um Bleacher Report, but these trade packages where they're trying to they're talking about the Browns trading us. They get our 8th pick. They're trading us their second round pick, a 4th round pick this year, a 1st round next year, and a 2nd round next year. Los Angeles, this would be a monster trade. You're talking about a 1st round pick, 26 overall, their 3rd round pick at 90, a 6th round pick, their 202nd round pick, and their future 1st next year, and they just get our 8th round pick. That's a massive haul. That's a massive haul of picks. Or same thing, Saints. I mean, this one's interesting to me. I wouldn't be. I'm not really trying to trade up, or I'm not really trying to trade with the Saints. Not in how NFC South rival. I mean, they're giving us their 1st round pick, a 4th, and a 7th for a 1st. Not really trying to do that. And honestly, I think the best trade it's either between Pittsburgh, or if this was a true trade, it's between Pittsburgh and definitely the Rams. But again, I think at number 8, you're either going T-Mac. Okay, you're either going T-Mac, or you're going. I mean, I wouldn't throw. And here's another thing: I wouldn't throw Mike Green out of the 8th pick. I mean, we're talking about a guy who had 17 sacks. I don't care where you play. I don't care what division you play in. But Mike Green's also a perfect example as a guy. It doesn't matter where you play, because if you go watch his Ohio State game, he was getting to Will Howard. He was getting pressure, and he was getting pressure against that Ohio State offensive line that is almost basically an NFL offensive line. And Dan Morgan in his presser said that he wants guys with production. So at number 8, I wouldn't count out Mike Green either. And I see you, Trey. Trey, appreciate you joining, brother. I see you and Trey were talking back and forth, Josh. I might have to go watch. I know who Broshmo is. He's actually part of Roundtable Sports. Guy knows ball very well. But man, I might have to go watch that video now, since you guys said you love this scenario. So I might have to go check it out. Over 45 people watching. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream, being here. Make sure you get in the comment section, whether you're on X, Twitch, feel free to join, hop in on the chat. I appreciate it. Yes, Zach, there was a couple plays he made Josh Simons look funny. There was a couple plays. I want to say at least 2 or 3. I might have to go check out that video then. It's if you like. I mean, we got 2 people in here who like the trade up, so I might have to go check it out. But again, you can't count out a guy like Mike Green at 8. Donovan Azuruku, I wouldn't think so at 8. And then, of course, you got Jalen Walker at 8 as well. And then somehow, some way, somehow, some way, this guy falls at 8. I mean, I don't think that I think it's obvious where you go. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Mario Tedder, are you in Charlotte? No, I do not live in Charlotte, Mario. Not far from Charlotte. I mean, well, 3 hours, 3.5 hours from Charlotte. Okay, I might have to go check them out. Marcos Cash with that 11-month donation. I greatly appreciate that, brother. I greatly appreciate that, man. Shout out to you with that. Shout out to you with that. Appreciate you, man. Mario Tedder says we should trade back. I'm all for it, buddy. I'm all for it, brother, for sure. I know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I have to go check that out now. Y'all have intrigued my mind. But yeah, I see T Mac, I see Jalen Walker, and somehow, unless Abdul Carter or Mason Graham, I think it's 4 guys. Now, I think Abdul Carter won't be there. Mason Graham, I think, is more likely to be there than Abdul Carter, but I can also see him going. I think the team that we have to watch out for is the 3 teams we need to watch and see what they do. I mean, it's really in the first 5 picks we need to see what each team does. Because honestly, I see Tennessee taking Cam Ward. I see Cleveland taking Travis Hunter. I see Ashton Genty not going to the New York Giants. I don't know where the Giants may go. That's the team I'm not really sure about. Could they go Ashton Genty? Sure. Could they go with Abdul Carter? Possibly. And honestly, Kendall, that's correct, man. Like, and Kendall's absolutely right. We need to hope that Shador Sanders falls past the Giants because teams are going to be calling. And if everybody in here wants to trade back, that's the scenario you want because the Patriots ain't taking Shador. The Jacksonville Jaguars ain't taking Shador. The Raiders might to have him sit behind Geno for a year. I doubt that. I'm not sure Prime's going to like that, but I doubt that. Jets ain't taking Shador. They got Justin Fields. They may see a future with Justin Fields. He's still young enough to become a franchise quarterback. He might be going into the right scenario now that Aaron Glenn's there. I'm high on Aaron Glenn this year for the Jets. I like him as a head coach. I think he's a perfect fit there. But the Saints is interesting. The Saints may have to trade up to go get him. If Shador passes the Giants, I could see the Saints trying to jump immediately. Now, the Steelers may not be the case. I mean, again, the Saints may not even like Shador. They may end up going after T-Mac or Tyler Warren. And based off of what my understanding is when I was talking to TJ on the NFC South Roundtable, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out on Roundtable Sports, the NFC South Roundtable. Here's the thing. Me and TJ were talking on there. TJ really thinks that the Saints are looking at getting Tyler Warren. And he thinks that what would be the smartest move for the Saints to do is get Tyler Warren or T-Mac. I think they want to get Tyler Warren or T-Mac. for the Saints. I think that's where their head is at. They might also be in the Jalen Walker conversation. I'm not really sure, but based off my understanding with what TJ presented to us on there, I think they're going Tyler. He thinks they're either going Tyler or T Mac, and then they're going Jalen Milroe in the second round. He thinks they're going to go Jalen Milroe in the second round. And I get it. A high up, athletic, upside quarterback. He's got a cannon for an arm, just needs to work on accuracy. Because one minute he's a highlight reel, the next minute he's like it's bad. So I mean, it's interesting. This is one of the drafts. This draft I feel is just so unpredictable, man. It really is. It really is. It's so unpredictable. And I think the main team that I could also see, here's the thing. I could see the New England Patriots taking T-Mac. And I also see the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are stuck between Abdul Carter and Mason Graham. I don't know. I'm so interested to see how this board falls. I'm so interested to see how this board falls. I think the Giants have to go. I mean, the Giants may not even go quarterback. Why would you go out? Why would you go get? I think another thing is like you got to think about it this way too. Why would the Giants sign Jameis Winston, sign Russell Wilson, and keep Tommy DeVito to go and get Shador Sanders? Makes no sense. I think they're holding out for next year. I think they're holding out to get Arch next year. Makes the most sense to me. Cam Ward to the Titans makes the most sense to me. Travis Hunter to the Browns makes the most sense to me. And then the Browns trading back into the first round to try to get Shador Sanders. I can see a scenario where that happens. I can see a scenario where that happens. And then New York will end up probably getting Abdul Carter or Mason Graham. For sure. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I think that's where they go. Here's the thing. It makes a lot of sense to me. I think the Giants will end up probably going Abdul Carter though, because the New York Giants decision here is it's so fascinating to me for them. It's hard to blame the plan for them to get the best player first. Like I know that the Giants do not have a long-term answer at quarterback yet, but it's just like I said, they may be holding out to go get Arch next year, but they also are in the pressure to win now because it does exist for their GM and their head coach. And I think their plan may ultimately be for the Giants is to have their cake and eat it too if they can secure their quarterback target later on, which maybe they might try to do, and get Abdul Carter at 3, and then maybe Jackson Dart falls to the second round, and that's where they go. The pick 4, Will Campbell does make a lot of sense. Actually that actually for the Patriots makes a lot of sense because the Patriots decision doesn't just boil down to who can help Drake May the most. I think the answer is for them is being Will Campbell at this stage doesn't hurt the decision to lock in that offensive lineman that they need. I think this is a clear need for the Patriots. It fits the model for what I think Mike Vrabel's going to be hoping to build, a tough, gritty team in the trenches. Makes a lot of sense. Now, obviously, just the way this board falls, Abdul Carter there. I probably would switch Abdul Carter to the Giants, but then I would probably switch Mason Graham to Jacksonville. Because here's the thing, Jacksonville is in a position in the top 5. It does not quite hold a net value that's too good to be true in this scenario, right? Because when you look at the draft, this is and if you even look at other mocks drafts, not just the draft in general, but just like if you go look at other mock drafts to this point in the process, they've been this is a teasing point, really. Like, but also I could see Mason Graham, but I could see them just picking someone that's apparently a top 15 pick. And then just some out of nowhere, like they did with Trayvon Walker back in 2022. The Jacksonville Jaguars is always one of those teams that draft the most random player in the top 10. What happened to my screen? What the heck? Sorry about that. I don't know why it took it away. I just think that the Mason Graham being the Jazz pick under James Gladstone falls in line with some of the strategies. Here, the reason why I say that, Zach, reason why I disagree with that is because when you go look at what Gladstone did over the Rams, this makes Mason Graham for them makes a lot of sense. It just falls in line with the strategies that Gladstone did there. Because Graham gives Jacksonville that high volume snap taker that to play on both run and pass downs. And they've already got a premier pass rusher in Josh Allen. Or Josh Allen Hines, I think that's his new name. I think, and this may be a long shot, I think the Raiders, and maybe this is a hot take, I think the Raiders take Ashton Jeanty. I do. I think the Raider roster has a lot of holes at several different spots. And but I think it's too hard to overlook what Marshawn Lynch was to Pete Carroll's teams and not think about the potential reincarnation of it with Jeanty in Las Vegas. I think the Raiders would not be wrong to draft a corner or a tackle here, but the pick that feels right to me would be Ashton Jeanty. That's just me. Now, the Jets, Tyler Warren, I don't see that happening. I mean, I could, but I see more or less because here's the thing. The Jets invested in Justin Fields, and it will not come without reinforcements if the offense doesn't work out a 2025, a pick like Armand Mebu out of Missouri. I think this is where the Jets are going to go. Right tackle out of Missouri. It could help. He could help really continue to isolate the variables. I bet that Alu Fashanu, Joe Tipperman, Elijah Vera Tucker, John Simpson, and now you add Armand Membabu. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Bash me in the comments. I mean, forgive me, but the Jets boast a young collection of powerful blockers who should help amplify not only Fields' running ability and the smash mouth style of traditional runs, because you also got to think about they've got Breece Hall and they've got Braylon Allen. So that's where I see the Jets going. We're just breaking down picks by picks here for the first round because I really want to break down where we're going to go at 8. So I think it's between edge rusher and wide receiver here. But if I'm picking and I'm general manager, if I'm like really picking, I mean, I would look and see who wants to trade back. None of these make sense. I think the best case scenario that Carolina does is try to trade around where Seattle is, or possibly. I mean, the Rams trade makes a lot of sense too. The Rams, but the problem is Rams don't have a second round pick. Pittsburgh doesn't have a second round pick. I'd like to try to get a second round pick. That's why I would say, or even Denver makes a lot of sense. Like where you could go 20, 51, 20, 51, and like maybe like 122. And you may get a extra first. I doubt it. But they're not interested, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Seattle makes some sense. They've got 2 second-round picks. You may be able to, and 2 third-round picks. Maybe you'll be able to squeeze one. But we're just going to keep it straight up for right now. We'll just keep it straight up right now. I think Carolina's going Walter Nolan here. Or not Walter Nolan, sorry. Jalen Walker. Okay, I think that's where they're going to go. Me personally, I just think that's the ideal target for them. Again, y'all have heard me speak about it before. I mean, I think Jalen Walker is not just I think he's the real deal. Okay, I really do. There is a risk here with him, but if he tests, here's the thing. I think a lot of people say, well, is Jalen Walker worth the 8th pick? Honestly, I'm closer to yes than I've ever been on a prospect before, because again, there's still a risk with Jalen Walker, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if he tests poorly, if that thigh is still an issue and he can't develop a real pass rush plan at the next level, then you just spend a top 10 pick on a versatile depth piece. But if you test well and and if you commit to molding him into a dictated edge rusher, he could be one of the biggest steals in the draft. And and it's likely that Abdul Carter's gone, and others like James Pierce Jr. Okay, I'm okay with Mike Green. I know both of those guys are dragging serious character baggage behind them, but again, sometimes you have to look by that, especially when it comes to production, right? But here's another thing. Jalen Walker might end up being the cleanest, most available option left standing. Bottom line, if the Panthers think that they can make Walker into an every down rusher who occasionally drops or moves inside, then yeah, he might just be that guy, right? If they draft him to be some sort of gadget defender and expect instant fireworks, you're going to be disappointed. And then people are just going to end up being pissed. So, I mean, that's where honestly, I think if they're, I think the smartest move though for Carolina is to trade down. So here's the thing. Now we're at the 57th pick. Have I seen Jalen dropping? Yeah, I've seen him drop back a couple times in some of the game film I've watched. He's not bad in coverage. I do think he needs some refinement there. I think Jahad Campbell's a better prospect in coverage. I think also Jahad Campbell's not getting a lot of love that Jalen Walker's getting. What's up, Cyburn? I think Jahad Campbell is another guy that people are really sleeping on. And if Carolina's willing to take the 8th pick with Jalen Walker, and I've said it before and I say it again, this may be a hot take. They should be willing to look at Jahad Campbell and taking him as well. Because Jahad Campbell can play off the edge just like Jalen Walker can. He can drop back into coverage and he can play sideline to sideline. He's the same type of player. But that's just me. Oh, he's definitely more athletic and he's faster. But I think I like Jalen Walker. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's worth a first round pick. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jalen Walker's not a first round pick. He is. But when I watch Jalen Walker's game film and I watch Jahad Campbell's film, Jahad Campbell is definitely more explosive. Definitely more explosive. Is Xavier Watts there for 57? I'm not taking Xavier. So this is my personal blueprint. You guys don't have to agree with it, okay? And I could care less. All right. You guys can put your comments in. That's fine. I'm not taking Xavier Watts here. He's not even there anyway, so I wouldn't even take him anyways. All right. I'm taking a wide receiver here because for me, which looking at this board, did Noel already go? Okay. So for me, and then Alec AO Manor is gone. Okay. So I mean, T. Thompson, I've watched his game film, man. I've even broke down his game film. I've watched his game film. Jahad Campbell is it can play edge or outside linebacker, but he can also play Mike. I've watched his game film. I've broken it down. He is a he's the same type of player as Jalen Walker. And I will 100% back that up. And I'm not saying that. I've watched his game film. Watching film and watching what you see in highlights is totally different. Pass rush, I mean, see, that's the thing about Campbell, though. Look at this. Even PFF has him as the ideal built athletic ability to play linebacker spot, but he projects best as a Mike or Sam linebacker in 4-3 schemes. That's in a 4-3 scheme, ladies and gentlemen. What do we run? A 3-4. That's why I said Mike or edge in a 3-4. I told you. Go watch his film. I'll even send you the film for free, even though I paid for it. I'll send it to you. I just don't think he's getting the love that he deserves. Now, my boy Kyle Williams, he's getting the love that he deserves. My boy Kyle is getting the love that he deserves. Stay away from Trey Harris and stay away from Xavier Respetiro. Jalen Rolls, I'm cool with. Stay away from those two. Savion Williams is nice if you want a big body wide receiver. So is Isaac Tesla. He's getting a lot more love lately. For some reason. His film is okay. But this is my guy at 57. Here's the thing. It's either so here's the thing at 57 for me. It's either linebacker or wide receiver. Like even if you go Jalen Walker in the first, it's either linebacker or wide receiver for me. because I feel like we need to correct the common draft narrative here. The pick shouldn't go to an edge. There are better edges later. Like we already, if you went Jalen Walker, you don't need to go edge. We'll probably if we trade back, we may double up. If we can, maybe we can double up. But more importantly, the team is paper thin on off the ball linebackers. Okay. I mean, again, that's where Jalen Walker comes in a little bit though, too. So really that's the reason why I say either linebacker or wide receiver. It really depends if they trade back, but it also depends where they go in the first round. Because you do need a true field general. I don't disagree with that, right? Besides Wallace and Joel and then Roseboom, who do you got behind them? Because you do need a guy out there who can diagnose those plays, cover tight ends, which Jalen Walker can kind of do all that. But you can't expect him to do that if we're going to use him as a versatile hybrid type of guy. There's no telling where they're going to line him up with how his skill set is. They're going to get creative with him. That's for sure. But you do need a guy who can call the shots in the middle of the field. And right now, last year, as we saw, right, it's a revolving door. You don't have Shaq Thompson anymore. He's gone. But we still need a wide receiver help. So if you don't grab T-Mac at 8, this is your next chance. I mean, there's depth. I think there's depth in this wide receiver class, especially with route running technicians in this one. I think there's a lot more. And here's the thing: I think there's a lot more slot demons still likely on the board, like in round 2, but even in the later rounds. But if I had to say linebacker here, because I mean the board may not fall like this. So, but my guys may have already been picked up here. Let's see. Let me look at the linebackers. Did they pick up any in here? So for me, it's Demetrius Knight for sure. It's one of the guys I want to go after. And I'm thinking and then Carson Schlesinger if he somehow falls. It's between those two guys and the linebacker in the second round. But for me in the second round, it's either Jalen Knoll or it's Jalen Royals. All right. I'm either going with Royals or I'm going Jalen Knoll in the second round. That's just me personally. I think that Knoll even fits. I mean, this might be a hot take. And I know we got Panthers fans out here. We love glazing on T-Mac. I think Jalen Knoll is a better fit for what we need on this offense than T-Mac is. That's just me personally. Hot take. But I said it last night. If y'all haven't seen that short clip that I talked about T-Mac and not being a good fit for Carolina, then you need to go check it out. It's a hot take though. So that's where I'm looking at. Well, I mean, we're breaking this down pick by pick. This is the way I see it, man. This is the way I see it. Take it as you will. Yeah, Panthers guy. I'm surprised Jahad Campbell's not getting much love. At this point, I hope Jalen Walker goes early and then we pick Jahad Campbell. That would be phenomenal. That would be sick in my opinion. But I do listen. I wouldn't be mad at Jalen Walker either, though. I just like the. Damn, Jalen Royal fell down to here. Oh, and then a fellow visitor. This is interesting. But I'll tell you this: at 74, I'm going safety. Yep, I'm going safety. Excuse me. The reason why I'm going safety here is because number one, Andrew Mukaba is there. Okay. But really, it's the fact that, yes, we signed Trayvon Moehrig this offseason. Solid move. I love the Trayvon Moehrig move. One of my favorite players that we picked up this offseason. I'm probably going to end up getting his jersey. But behind him, a bunch of guys who would be, I think me personally, would be rotational players on a playoff roster. All right. Which most of them were. So if Moehrig gets hurt, this defense is toast. This draft class has a sneaky deep safety pool, in my opinion, especially in the day 2, day 3 range, right? Getting someone with range, ball skills, decent tackling ability, I think should be the goal here, ideally. Who doesn't turn into, ideally someone who doesn't get turned into like burnt toast every time a slot receiver breaks off a double move. I don't need that, right? So Andrew, my top guys would be Andrew Mukaba, Lathan Ransom, and where did my boy Kevin Winston Jr. go? Did he already get picked up? Let's see. Did someone already pick up Kevin Winston Jr.? Yeah, they did. Okay, so they picked up Kevin Winston Jr. But my favorite guy is Andrew Mukaba out of Texas. Favorite guy. Just everything. No, I don't think they have Cyber. I don't think they did a I don't think they did a 30-day visit with him. They have Kevin Winston ranked 29th. Who PFF does? I mean, at one point they may have. I don't know if they do anymore after the injury. I mean, he at one point he was a first round. He at one point he was a first round. Projected first round. Did they really? I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised by that. All right, so we're heading into now what is the 111. I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. I have to wait. Well, let me pause it real quick. I'm gonna go find him. They moved him up to 29th. Let's see. Oh, I went way too far. Where's he at? Yeah, they did. They moved up to 29th. That's crazy. I'm surprised by that. All right. Let's see here. Jacob Parrish. Jacob Parrish is one of my guys at 111 if he falls. He might not fall for 111. Riley, okay. Damn, Kyle Williams fell this far back too. Okay. So here's my picks. 111 for me. It's between corner and tight end. Now I'm gonna look at it here and see what I have. And Noel's here, but Dan Gutterhelm is right there. So I'm probably gonna. So for me, I'm probably gonna go Gunner here, just so that neither one of those teams below me can get him. I mean, we know Carolina's tight end room, ladies and gentlemen, is besides Jadavion Sanders, and we've seen some flashes of Tommy Tremble, but after that, we haven't. I mean, ESPN has us ranked dead last, right? in the tight end from a tight end position. So I think Jadavion Sanders has a lot of promise. Don't get me wrong. We haven't seen enough to believe he's the full answer yet. Good news is that I do think that this tight end class is got definitely. I don't know if I would say it's deep, but I think it's a sleeper class. I think there's some guys in here that might come out besides Loveland and Harold Fannin, and besides these guys, Warren. I think those guys will make immediate impacts. But I think there's some guys in here that are major sleepers. Um, I think there's a lot of guys in here who's got plenty of guys in this range of who can block and catch. You know, the thing that tight ends are paid to do, right? You know, find one who can stretch the seam, open up the middle of the field, a reliable red zone type of option. And I think if I'm going to go anywhere here, I need to go with Gunnar Helm. So I'm going to go with Gunnar Helm here. Okay. And then the next pick is corner. Now, if I'm going with corner, okay, you know, we finally got a good basically a full season of JC Horn. We finally got an elite season of him and him being healthy, right? Because as of late, before that last season, it has been rare, right? We haven't seen it. Rest of the corner room, Mike Jackson, serviceable. Charles Smith-Wade, we're waiting to see, right? We still need depth in that corner room. Long, athletic, raw corners drop here. You need to think of, like, if you're drafting a guy, you need to think of like Richard Sherman or Tyreek Woodland types of guys. Pull the trigger. They can develop behind starters, and it won't kill you if they step in, right? I think Jacob Parrish, Noel Williams, Kobe Bryant, those are the guys that you can get right here. And both of my guys are right here. And both of my guys are right here. And so I'm taking Noel Williams. I think he's the better of the two. And so far, I really like this draft. I'm liking what I'm seeing here already. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, Kendall, I don't know what's going on with the Blackman situation yet. Nor do I know what's going on with the Marcus Williams situation either. That's another guy we've got to think about. So now we're coming up to the 140 pick. Now here's the thing. As we wait for this board to keep dropping, we're going to go running back here. Here's the reason why we're going to go running back. Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL. That's a major gut punch. Yes, we signed Rico Dowdle, but we know that and we re-signed Blackshear for a year. Okay, whatever. We know that Brooks is going to miss all of 2025. And even if he does return, we would have to be in the playoffs. So there's no guarantee he'll be the same guy either. I mean, he tore his ACL in the same knee. There's only a few players that have come back from that. Okay. I know we say Thomas Davis, we say, I think AP, right? But it's a rare breed, man. It's a rare breed that shit happens with. Okay. All right. There's no guarantee he'll be the same guy. Chuba, Rico, I'm fine with. Right. That room just needs, I still think some fresh legs, some upside would not hurt. Because this is where you can grab a versatile back. Ideally, someone with receiving chops, home run speed, don't get cute, take a running back. You know, I'm not saying take one round two. Day three is where you want to kind of hunt for your. I'm looking for like an Isaiah Pacheco here or like a Tyler Algier type of player here. Okay. I mean, me personally, Baishul Tootin is the guy here. I mean, I know he's all the way up at 202. But I'm taking him. You're talking about a guy who ran. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's got speed. He can catch, right? I mean, elusive rate is crazy. Yards after contact, 4.4 is crazy. He was tied 23rd in the country for how many missed tackles forced. I mean, I mean, and look at this, almost 1,000 yards each season, 1,300 in 2022. I think he ran like a 4.28 or 4.38, something like that at the combine. I'm looking for that. That's what I'm looking for. Ollie Gordon, I'm cool with. I wouldn't be mad at Ollie Gordon either. Taj Brooks, I know my boy Dougie Fresh is all about him. A guy who's had back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons. We may wait for running back here. I like to go running back. Jarquez Hunter's another guy that I like as well. I think he fits the mold as to what we're looking for here. I think Jarquez Hunter is a very good running back. If you're looking for that, again, if you're looking for Isaiah Pacheco type of or Tyler Algier type of running back, I like Jarquez. Trevor Etienne is interesting. He is. I just don't know. I feel like he's got a mixed bag. I have a mixed bag of feelings for him. Ollie Gordon's all the way down there. I really want to take my guy Bayshul Tutin here. It's really between Jarquez Hunter or Bayshul Tutin. Another guy I would probably take here is Brashard Smith, but I don't see Brashard, and I don't know if he fell, which I'm assuming he didn't. He obviously they picked him up here. So I mean, this might be a reach, but I'm a bigger Bayshul Tutin than a Jarquez Hunter fan. And I'm a Bayshul Tutin fan over Ollie Gordon. So even though I know he's at 202 ranking, I'm taking Bayshul. A lot of upside with him. And I mean, we're talking about an absolute explosive speedster out of the backfield. Would love to throw some screens to him and just watch him burn people. All right, so 46 pick. This is where it gets interesting for me. I'm probably going to go. This is where I go edge rusher. Okay. I'm going to double down with a developmental pass rusher. Okay. You know, now, so I think this is where you go back to the edge, right? I think this is, fifth or sixth. This is where you grab that upside raw freaks. You want someone who can rotate behind starters now, hopeful starter in 2026. Find a guy who can bend, someone with a relentless motor, ability to win one-on-ones. That's what we're looking for. Let him sit behind Clowney, Wanum, then unleash him next year. And neither one of my guys are here. It's really, Tyrone Ingram Dawkins. Production's not there, but if you're looking at a guy with some freakish measurables, this dude's got him. This dude has some freakish measurables. When you go look at his RAS measurables, I wonder if I can pull it up. RAS. Yeah. Wait. There it is. Not Cade Stover. I want to see if I can find him. Let me go to Georgia real quick because his measurables are out of this world. There he is. Oh, no. Let's go back to all. This dude, look at his measurables. 9.79. Okay, height 6'4". when we're looking at this from an athletic standpoint. 6'4", 276, needs to put on some weight. 23 bench, needs to get stronger. But a vertical of 36. We're talking about a broad jump of 10 feet, 4 inches. We're talking about a 40-yard dash of a 4.86, a 2.78 20-yard split, and a 10-yard split of 1.69. You're talking about a composite agility grade elite shuttle running a 4.34 and a 3 cone drill running a 7.28. Fadil, oh yes. Is he there? I know who you're talking about, T. Thompson. I didn't see him. Oh, he is there. Shit. I don't know why I skipped over him. Um, it's not a reach. I'm taking him there then. I think this is a very realistic draft. I mean, I could see this is like I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. I know that like based off their rankings, that doesn't necessarily mean that they think that's him. Am I taking a tackle at 163? Yes. That's where I was thinking about taking an offensive tackle. Good guess there, Zach. That's where I was thinking. Again, I'm a huge believer. You got to get someone to be that successor of Taylor Moton. I don't think we need to get him. You can if we don't go if you don't go safety in the 3rd round, I think I could see Carolina also looking at a guy like Ozzy Trapilo out of Boston College for the be a successor. But this is where I go in offensive tackle. We do need a successor for Taylor Moton, right? I mean, you know, Taylor Moton has been basically our most reliable lineman for years, but you know, he's been getting expensive. He's getting older. You know, and we're still trying to figure out, are we going to extend him or, it starts thinking about cap casualties. A replacement better be. I mean, you got to get a replacement in the damn pipeline. I mean, this pick should be a swing tackle prospect with starter upside. Like he may not contribute this year, but you're going to need him in 2026. Now, unfortunately, neither one of the guys I want are here. Normally, I would say Chase Lunt out of UConn or like Ajan Cornelius out of Oregon or Logan Brown out of Kansas. It's definitely not Jalen Travis. I think it's between, for me, it's either Emory Jones, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't think John Williams, is he right tackle? No, he's left. I figured he was. I think it's Jack Nelson. No, he's left tackle. Who was the other one? Jack Nelson is actually a very solid left tackle. Where's my guy? Holland Pierce knows how to play left tackle or right tackle. Xavier Truss is a good one. He can play kind of just anywhere, but he's all over the place. I like Trey Whittick because Trey Whittick actually reminds me of freaking Brady Christensen a lot. I see that in him. I might switch it up. Maybe I'll go. I don't know. Who's the best player available here? Damn, Ty Robinson's still here? Shit. I might go Ty. I might switch my idea up and go Ty. I do think they could go offensive tackle here, but I mean defensive line makes a lot of sense too. Shit, I'm taking Ty Robinson here then. If that's how the board falls, I would probably take Ty Robinson. and then take my offensive tackle here because it doesn't make sense to reach for them that far. Where's my OTs, man? If I'm going with anybody, I'm going with Trey Wittig. I tried to be as realistic as possible, man. I did. I try to be realistic as possible. So, they gave me an F for Jalen Walker. Okay. Jalen Knoll, Andrew Mukaba. Like, this is a straight up draft. Gunnar Helm, Noel Williams, Bashul Tutin, Fadil Diggs, Ty Robinson, and Trey Weddick. I know it's a C. PFF is kind of harsh with their I would say they're kind of harsh on the grading, but I don't know why Bashul Tutin's getting moved up the boards though. But I mean, Ty Robinson falling that far is crazy work. But I mean, I think that's where it's similar. I really think that the 5th round they'll probably go offensive tackle. I really do. I don't. I mean, we can't really say that because of how PFF's the boards fall. Again, at the end of the day, it does see. It all depends on how the board falls. I think the 7th round is always going to be the best player available, right? Because 7 rounders normally rarely pan out when they do. But they rarely pan out. But when they do, I mean, you look like a genius. So it's really you're rolling on the dice on the upside of them. Injury stars, former 5 stars who flamed out, or small school freaks, or elite athletes with zero technique. It's not about once you reach 7th round, it's not even about position and need. It's about traits, tools, maybe a little luck. I would just say make sure it's not a punter. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting. I like that draft. I actually think it's a very solid draft from all standpoint overall. That's just me. I just think sometimes they're. I just think PFF is just their grading system is just crazy. Yeah, wow. PFF hates your draft. Well, I mean, Cybern's right. They do value production way too much. They don't look at. They don't watch game. They don't watch film. At least they look at the stats and they're like all analytics and all that. They don't actually watch the game film. So I don't know. To each their own, I guess. To teach their own, I guess. So, but anyways, guys, we are 8 days away from the draft. Man, it's crazy. And we got WrestleMania this weekend. We got Easter weekend, but we got WrestleMania this weekend. So I don't know about you guys, but definitely going to be watching both nights of WrestleMania. I'm sick of mock drafts. I am too, Panther Gal. I am too. I am just ready for this draft to just come to fruition, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready for Thursday night. I'm ready to spend Thursday night, Friday night with you guys. Possibly Saturday as well. We'll see. As of right now, we're looking at Thursday and Friday. We'll see about day 3. Day 3 is just a long day. Day 3, you're looking, that's a long day, man. That is a long day of watching the draft. That's like 8 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be watching you and C3 Panthers. I appreciate that, Panthers guy. I appreciate that. Shout out to C3, by the way. Those guys are they do great work over there. Great content. So guys, well, I'm gonna hop off of here. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. I hope y'all enjoyed my blueprint. At least the way I see it. I try to be as realistic as possible with you guys about it. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream again. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. Of course, shout out to BetUS sponsorship of this live stream. Sign up for free today, get 125% bonus up on your first 3 bets up to $2,000. Also follow me on all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitch, and TikTok. Also got a Facebook page. Would love to start seeing some of you guys follow there as well. So I can start going live on Facebook. Probably could start going live on Instagram. Honestly, I probably just should. But yeah, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream again, man. Appreciate all your all's love and support. All you guys that have become a member and all that you guys that you do. Even when you send super chats and stuff like that. So I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. So shout out to you guys. And I will see you possibly tomorrow. So keep pounding, folks. Peace.